A father wrote me, and he said this: I've been working with my son, about 14 years old, for a few years now around his being more responsible, doing jobs around the house, cleaning up after himself if he makes a mess. By using what I learned in the parenting training, loving him, teaching him, and consequences, he's become actually highly motivated to do these things on his own. Now, I know this man pretty well, so I wrote back, you are a model in doing this. You found it difficult at first, but you persisted in loving him first, then teaching with words, then consequences if the words didn't work. Very important to get this order right. Loving, words, consequences. And you did. And you did it for his benefit, not yours. And you were not afraid of his disapproval as you loved and taught him. Now, to everybody, I just summarized very briefly what a parent can do to improve everything. Love and teach without fear and consistently. That's kind of the guts of the whole message. It's not complicated. But if you attempt to skip any of those few important ingredients or you get them out of order, you're doomed. You'll fail. And if you fall or fail, just get up off the floor and try again. The dad said to me, this week I wanted to reinforce the reason why responsibility is so important. And I asked him to do some work on it, to look at why it's important. This is kind of a higher level understanding. I did some research on my own, Dad says, and I discovered that if you break the word responsibility down, it has two parts. It's kind of obvious once you see it written: response and ability. And it turns out that that's actually the etymology or the origin of the word. So responsibility is the ability to respond to things, presumably in the right way. It helps me understand why responsibility is important. That's a beautiful realization. Not often that a word tells you that much about its meaning. As you communicate that to your son, it empowers him. He realizes that doing things promptly and well isn't just because he's supposed to. Doing things promptly and well increases his ability to choose to respond well. It makes him more powerful. He's not helpless anymore, a feeling that most people deal with all the time. They're helpless mostly because they've been irresponsible. They did not practice responding to life, so their ability to do that is weak. Dad says, so now when he comes to me with a problem or something he's not sure about, I say, this is clever. How can you use your ability to respond? See how much clearer that is than just saying, well, be responsible. This is perfect. So Dad says, I remind him of what responsibility is, and then his ability to respond grows, which is real responsibility. And I wrote to Dad, you should write a book. Dad said, for example, we had a holiday, so the garbage men didn't come and empty the big containers at the street. So the garbage and the recycling have built up, and when my son asked me what he should do, I suggested that he use his ability to respond to that situation. He came up with his own solution, and it worked beautifully. And Dad, your answer was beautiful, perfect, loving, and teaching. Dad says, I've used this approach a few times now, and it reminds me not to dive in with my ideas and save him, but instead to let him first come up with his own answers. You're a genius. This was great teaching. Our children don't need to be saved. That approach cripples them. If we do it, they'll demand to be saved all their lives. They'd be only too happy to be rescued and saved. No exaggeration. They don't need us to solve most of their problems. In fact, hardly ever. They need us to love them, teach them principles, and have faith that they can solve their own problems and grow in their ability to respond. Real responsibility, as this father pointed out. This is so fun to see a parent just do what he learns in the training and come up with his own teaching style and teaching it to his son. If we do that consistently and without fear, Our children will learn. If he can do it, so can you.